Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Zoom Crossline Culture Call. I'm Shannon Shine, Pro 6 in Denver, and Patty Goolsby, co-moderating Pro 6, also in the Denver area. And every week we are so excited to bring you new speakers who share their stories and their wisdom. And we just love to share these two quotes each week. Also, the first quote, a culture is strong when people work with each other for each other, and a culture is weak when people work against each other for themselves. And the second, culture eats strategy for breakfast every time. And we are all so much about working together and helping each other. So Patty, I'm not going to take any more time. Please introduce our speaker.
Thank you so much, you guys. I have seen Kai from afar for many, many years. I've heard so many things about her, but I never have been able to physically be in her presence until a few weeks ago. And when I heard her, oh my gosh, I knew immediately. I was like, we have got to get her on this call. And even this morning, just what she's sharing with us, I feel completely filled up already. And so, but I want to read her accolades because this woman is incredible. She's a Pro 7, Kai Hayes, Pro 7 out of Austin, Texas, a happy wife and mother. She is self-driven, contagious, and visionary. You're going to see that. She loves to inspire people and create excitement. She is a successful corporate executive, Asian telecommunications business owner. She was a banker and a certified life coach. Now she is a professional network marketer and public speaker. You guys, it is our honor to have Kai Hayes on here this morning to share her story. Kai, take it away.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and privileged to be here sharing with you my story amongst your team and amongst our LV family. And I could not have been very, very much impressed with this the core values around this group, and I thank God for having me here to be able to share an inspiration, whatever I can do to help you guys, you know. So let me start with my story. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I'm actually the youngest of the 4 siblings. And boy, I lived a life of poverty. You know, I still remember when I was in high school, I learned how to sew my own dresses and ripping up my mother's clothes, old clothes, because we can't afford to buy us, new clothes every now and then. So, and vacation is actually the term that I wasn't familiar, and so with my other siblings, because we never had vacations. And so that was tough. But, at the age of 25, I became the breadwinner of the family when my other siblings took off and got married. And I took care of my 2 parents and 2 grandparents. And unfortunately, at the age of 33, I became a single mom. And but I was blessed with my one and only son. And life was tough. And but my son became an inspiration, very much an inspiration to me. And by the grace of the Lord, I broke the chain of poverty in the family, because I was so passionate enough to give my 5, 2 grandparents, 2 parents, and my one and only son, to give them a lifestyle. Because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, people looking down at my parents. I think that's not fair for me. And so I said, enough of poverty. So fast forward, I became corporate executive, very good at what I did. I actually developed channels of distribution across the entire region of the Philippines. And but the thing I didn't like about that is that, as good as I was, I said I could hardly get an increase, and I said I'm not getting paid my worth. So I stepped down from the corporate ladder, because I realized early on that I was building someone else's dream and not my dreams. So fast forward, accelerated to becoming an Asian telecommunications business owner. Boy, it was a true blessing. I achieved financial freedom, and life was good. Recession came. I was invincible. I was traveling in and out of Asia and also in Europe, because my principal is in UK. So I was working with British people. Was I happy about that? Heck yeah, lifestyle. But the only thing that I didn't like about that is time. I wasn't given enough quality time to spend it with my loved ones. And I was a little concerned, because my little child is growing so fast, and he was about 7-year-old that time, or 5, going, no, seven at that time, going 8. And I said, oh, this is not good because I'm always out, although they got everything that they want. So guess what? After about 5 years, I found my real mate. So I decided to get married and migrated in the U.S. I didn't plan going to the U.S. really because I just didn't have plans. I'm good in the Philippines, in Asia, and I was traveling. So, but I fell in love and I remarried. 2003, migrated with my son here. I left all the things that I've developed in the Philippines and just blindfolded. I said, love is above all. Lord, that wealth was, just entrusted to me temporarily, and you will give that back to me when the time is right. But love is above all, and I have to, at least it's important that my son will grow up with a father. And so I was blessed. 5 years I was just a stay-home mom, and I enjoyed it, driving my son to soccer games, band, and everything like that. So, I was so blessed to really kind of like experience the career side of it and the stay-home mom. It was incredible. But here you go. When my son actually reached high school, oh, Kai is getting bored. I miss um, the the traveling. I miss negotiating. I miss all those, things that I did in life. And so I said, let's just go back. I said, honey, I'm just bored. Let me just find something to do. And I landed as a private banker in Wells Fargo Bank. And it was great. 18 months I became the top banker of the whole entire Austin district. However, the thing that I didn't like about that is that I was locked in. I was locked in a cubicle, and I kind of like didn't like it because getting stuck in the traffic, waking up early in the morning, letting someone tell me when to take my lunch, when to take my vacation, and I said, I'm chained here. But I was equivalent to 3 bankers, and I wasn't getting paid my worth again. And I said, there should be a great business model other than this. And so everything changed. Everything changed when my friend walked into my cubicle and says, Kai, I know you're such a business-minded person. I want to share with you something. But I was already kind of like skeptical because I know this is something like about network marketing, which I am not so keen on doing because, number one, I look down at network marketing companies because I really thought, prejudging, I really thought that it's just pushing something to sell to your friends, like brochures, like what they do to me, in the bank. Like I see brochures of Mary Kay, Avon, and pushing me to buy something like a makeup. Really, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And let alone, I thought it's like something like a vitamin or a supplement that he's gonna show to me. And then, but no, when I actually saw the ABC video, life has changed. Because on a business standpoint, when you see something like a unique product that's backed by science, a product that's patented until 2031, a product that doesn't actually do anything in your body, but it's just open up, it's a technology. And I've never seen anything like that. So consumable, no competition, business-minded person, I'm in. I just told myself, I will not be able to miss this opportunity because I want to get a piece of Dr. McCord's discovery. I want to be a part of this history to come. So I said, I'll try this. I'll set aside my skepticism about network marketing. I'll try to, probably because I just fell in love with the product. But 11 months after truly, digging, I'm very coachable. And once I really like the business model, I would really work it. So, little by little, I was trained about the compensation plan, and I said, wow, 5 ways to get paid. I said, this is network marketing. And I realized that the real network marketing business model is truly not about sales. And that's where I was wrong. And so I just wanted to let you know, you guys, that network marketing is actually a relationship business. So boom, I embraced it fully. And after 11 months, I fired my boss. I quit my job forever. And the reason of why that happened is because it was incredible. I was beginning to, sort of like develop that, establish and create that residual income. And I was like getting that piece of check. $57 was my first check, but it increases every month. It increases as I work this. And so the secret of my success is also because even though I was working with Wells Fargo Bank 5.5 days from Monday to half day Saturday, I didn't make excuses. I was full on committed, and I just sneak out of my lunchtime, to talk to somebody, go out for a coffee, and once a week I must go to a training, whether it's late at night. Once a week I just go join training in Austin, and then started to commit to the events. And so that's what the sort of like the beginning of my commitment to building network marketing. So after 11 months, like I said, I fired my boss, I quit my job. And after 4 years, guess what? I created my Pro 7 residual income. And I said 4 years, not 40 years, you guys. So think of it that way. Would you rather work until you're 65 years old, or just retire just after 4 years of doing that? I was 48 or 49 during that time. So it was incredible. So that's my powerful story. But the second part of the story is that you have to make sure that, or you have to admit this, or you have to be aware of this, that adversities and afflictions happens at an unexpected moment. We are not spared, whether you're rich, you're poor, male or female. Adversities and afflictions just happen because life happens, and so we cannot avoid it. So December 2014, when my husband got afflicted with stage 3 brain cancer, it's called anaplastic astrocytoma, just for your information, and it was unexpected. And the doctor said to us that there's no cure for stage 3, and so we were shocked. I mean, was I about to lose Greg at that time? And he was at his, down moment, and it hit us. And so my Life Vantage business was derailed, and I had to tell my team, I am going through the rough times, and they understood. I was with Greg every single day of his life while he was fighting for cancer. For about straight 6 months on that particular struggle, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy. And the thing that I've realized about the magic of residual income is that I was getting paid, number one. And if I were working at Wells Fargo Bank, I'm surely going to be fired if I don't report for 6 months, right? And I can't tell my boss, hey boss, I won't be able to come in for 6 months, and just make sure that you send me my salary. And he would probably say, are you nuts, or are you on drugs, guy? You're actually fired. So could you just imagine that? And then the second hardest part was that, after the 6 month of Greg, having the chemotherapy, actually he was laid off by the company he's working with for 20 years. Can you believe that? And he was one of the brightest folks in his company, one of the, asset. But the thing is, they said, oh, we are reorganization, and therefore we're trying to lay off some employees. Really? And you're going to pick on my husband because he has a cancer? And what could have impacted us, his insurance and all that. But the beauty of this, or the blessing, is that it didn't really affected us so much, because financially we were having that. My salary wasn't affected, number one. And and the coolest part is, after that 6 months, actually we found out that Greg was cancer free. And we stopped. Because we actually stopped after 6 months, of not having the chemo. Actually, we stopped the chemo after 6 months of not having the chemo. He had an MRI, and he was actually cancer-free, squeaky clean, cancer-free. And the doctor actually even said there's little to no scarring in the brain, and the leaky vessels healed so fast. And he was so amazed by that. And we're not doing any protocol except for the NRF2 activation. Now, of course, I have to say this: we are not here to claim anything, like to diagnose, treat any illnesses or diseases, but it is what it is. We took massive, he took massive dosage of Protandim. And right now, last 3 weeks ago, he actually had his, 3 months ago, this is his 4th year, and we had a favorable result again. He's cancer-free, praise the Lord. And the doctor said, you don't have to have an MRI every 6 months. You just come here once a year and continue whatever you're doing. So that is a miracle. But not everybody will have a miracle. So you know what? That's why we need to have a plan B. We need to have a plan B, because we will never know what tomorrow will bring. And for this, all of this blessing, we actually built a Bridge of Hope ministry in the Philippines. We partner with the St. Rita Orphanage. We're helping 25 little angels. And we were also, with this blessing, we were also able to send a seminarian from Diocese of Tanzania for priesthood. And I'm still helping my mom. My father passed away, and then my grandparents passed away, but I'm still helping my mom. And right now, truly, we've eliminated all our debts. I'm building a new house in the Philippines, and we just bought another house for rent, assets and all that. It's incredible, you guys. It's not easy to work this, but the system is easy. And so I am passionately educating people right now to do what we are doing, Life Vantage, and never seize that opportunity, because we are going to miss it. A lot of people will miss it. So I hope to inspire you guys with my story, and I'll take it over to Shannon.
Kai, I'm actually going to start. You have given, I hope everyone on here, little bits of things that they need to think about as you're building an asset. And that's what you've been doing. You shared your story. You shared what you didn't like about some things. You talked about time quality, being love is above all. And then you said, we're giving back to a ministry, and you've been through so many ups and downs. And this business continued to stay building an asset. So when you came back to working it, kind of share a little bit about what happened then. You came back, you started back up, but things had already been in place. How did you start then to, refocus? How did you get back on the train of going, I need to refocus and build this business because I don't want to miss it?
Right. Actually, I was even more passionate when I came back. Triple that passion, burning desire to actually, because Greg came back to work again after, he got well, because he had to. But it was a very great desire for him to retire him. So my why became even, magnified 3 times. And the coolest thing about our business is that it's going to wait for us. Isn't that cool? Because in network marketing, it allows us to transition when we're ready to embrace it. It will be patient with us. There's tools waiting for us. There's mentorship waiting for us. There's people waiting for us. When we are ready, we can just jump in and join the bandwagon again. It's not going to get lost unless it's too late, of course. I'm talking about the timing of this opportunity. But what I'm saying is that if that's your job, you can never go back to your job, because when you're fired, you're fired. You've got to look for another one. But see how you may be able to continue to grow back your business. And that's what I did, actually. And actually, I increased my business currently right now, because I was so passionate about it. I retrained my people, and I retrained myself, because like I said, I just have to jump in. I was gone for about 6 months, and when you are ready, they are ready for you as well. You'll never lose that spot. And it just, you revisit your why, and you revisit your goal. And so that even made me so passionate and made me even more committed to my team. And guess what? My story became more powerful, and my team was kind of like, wow, we really need to do this, because we don't want to experience anything like what Kai had experienced. It made it so real, actually, for people, for my team, for people. And when I was asked for by LifeVantage to speak in front of 7,000 people, it even magnified my vision and my mission, because I have touched so many lives during that time, and many people reach out to me. And we were having case studies, actually. Right now there are a lot of people that followed our protocol in terms of, health. But there are some people that also, just took their route, and it's okay. We're just here to share our story, hoping to help people.
I love it.
Wow.
Shannon?
Your story is so incredible, so powerful. The determination just comes through, the love, the commitment comes through. And I want to go back to something what we were talking about before everybody got online. When we were talking about, the oh my gosh, I'm losing my train. The people that we can help, the people in charities. And you mentioned the charity that you guys have set up, the Bridge of Hope Ministry, and why some people, don't join because they need the money personally, but what they can do with the money by helping others. So can you talk about your ministry a little bit, and what this business has allowed you to do?
Great. Ministry actually started in 2004. As I told you before, I lived a life of poverty. I used to be a a poor child. So when I reached that, when I was with Asian Telecommunications Company, I was earning. I developed that wealth, and I don't want to look back the past and say, oh, I'm I want to remember where I come from, and I don't want to forget about that. And so for me, the more probably I will accumulate wealth, or the more blessings that I will have, I will give back. So it's just a part of giving back, and having to, for me to remember where I come from. So what I do when I visit the Philippines, that Bridge of Hope Ministry, I go to shanties, like I go to the squatters area, like really poor, depressed area, and I would sit down with them. I would hug them. Little kids, like, there's no clothes, there's no slippers, and a lot of stinky places and all that. But I've been there, and I know how they live. So I said, what a hypocrite I would be if I would not even give back, and I would not even be with them, and try to help them of what they need. I can't save them all, but having 200 children, giving them old clothes, old books, old like, especially when school year is in June, we provide school supplies for them. So that actually started because when I visited in December with Greg in 2003, actually, in the Philippines, the children, barefooted, was knocking on our window begging for alms. And I said, my goodness, look at this 1-year-old, 2 years old in the streets where the cars can run them over, begging for alms, for like a little cent for the windows. And I said, honey, let's go back to my house. And then we wrapped some food, everything, and then we went back. And then we called in all the little children, street children. I said, here, I packed little goodies. And then so that started it. And so I said, I think we need to do this. So it grew to 200 people right now. And then even more so, just last 2 years ago, we actually partner with Saint Rita, because I said, what about the orphanages? I think we can also help the orphanages. And so Sister Sister Cynthia Camuto was actually delighted, because the children there are just being left on their front door, the gate, by some parents that cannot afford to kind of like take care of them. So I think we can change, we can be a part of this crusade, and if we can. So what we probably would do is to continue to expand this and extend this to, like sending seminarians to priesthood. And actually, I also created a children's ministry in our church right now in Austin, where there are 70 children right now are attending my ministry, children's ministry, and I created that as well. I founded that. So because I believe that as you become successful, I think we cannot leave that part of us, the love. Like I said, without the love, you cannot not make a difference in some other people's lives.
Wow, that is beautiful. And you know what keeps coming to my head is this is such a gift that we have with LifeVantage, and everyone, we all need to expand our vision of what we can do by putting our heads down and working hard. Look at the good that you've shared. Look at the gifts that you've shared with others. You've totally inspired me, Patty.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes, and I agree with that. I was sitting here. Linda wrote, "You're amazing, my dear, and an inspiration." And yes, Kai, you are, because sometimes I think we just see what's in front of us. We think we get into this either to have better health or to pay the bills, right? To make a
right.
But the vision is making an impact. The vision is making an impact for the world, and it starts with each one of us on here. It's one little piece. And what you're sharing with us is so much bigger than what LifeVantage is a vision to impact the world, and we have it in health, but each one of us has to do our part.
Absolutely.
Each one of us has to do our part.
Absolutely.
You're saying your culture, your background, everything. I'm literally sitting here. I've got all these notes, and I'm thinking, if just 5 people today get off this call and make an impact. That's if everyone did it, what would the world look like today? And love is above all. And that's my new quote. I love it.
And it just increases your desire to even help more and to grow more your business, because you're increasing the number of people that you're going to help with. Like my brothers and sisters are very poor, and they're just depending on me. So I also send my nephew to school, like preschooling, and I still take care of my mom and all her needs. And so it's like I'm doing this, and I will not stop growing my business, my LifeVantage business, because I know that I can help more people, because it's not just about me. And I will always be the same guy, no matter what it is. Even if I reach Pro 10, I'm still the same guy that was the little poor child once before. But, that's why you always have, because at the end of the day, our credentials, our success, we cannot boast of all our successes compared to God's standard. Whatever it is that we achieve, it's because that we were given the strength and the courage and that favor from God in order for us to be where we are right now.
Absolutely. And you know what I love about this, and I know Shannon feels the same way, and I'm sure many across the board on this is there is a business here of opportunity, but there is the impact of changing people's lives. And it's not about it's the team that does it, but you're sharing a story that is so impactful, and it's your story. And some people on here have that same story, and they're afraid to share it because they're thinking, well, it's not going to make a difference. Every story makes a difference. And if you guys can, anything today, everything she has said, she's crafted her story so beautifully as she shared, and then she would say what she didn't like. And you could feel she's an incredible storyteller. She's passionate, and her vision is huge. And so I feel very blessed that you were on here today, pouring into us. I know it's the last couple of days of the month, so I really appreciate you taking time out, because I know you've had a crazy month. Shannon, last thoughts and closing us out.
Yeah, thank you, Patty. Absolutely. And you guys, I want to say, listen to this again, because in the beginning, Kai was listing out things that make us unique as a company: unique product, patented, backed by science, consumable. So listen to all of that again. Take notes, because when you're sharing with people, they need to know, they need to see the vision of why we're different. And Kai, you gave us such great nuggets today. Not even nuggets, huge bushel baskets of great information. So I agree. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Can I add something for everybody to kind of like thoughts to ponder? Is that okay, Shannon?
Please, yes.
Right. I just wanted to remind each and everyone who are here right now that we are in the new era of innovation. And therefore, this new era of innovation are creating disruptive technologies, you guys. Technologies such as nanotechnology. We are going to live in a wireless electricity in the near future. Robotics, it has already started, and genomics, and that's who we are. You got to embrace this technology, because this technology is what's going to shape the business model for decades to come. So if you guys want to win in the future, you have got to be ready to shape this because someone else's will if you don't. So with our NRF2 technology, you guys, we are literally competing in a world that has never seen yet, meaning to say the world is going to discover this. But before they even discover this, it has already arrived in our lives. So what are we waiting for? Why are we standing in front of the gold mine? What we have to do is to dig it. We've got to get to work. Yeah, because that gold mine is not going to come out from the soil if we don't dig. And the reason being why we're here is because God has actually already heard your prayers, you guys. Heard our prayers, and therefore we just have to get to work and do our part. And of course, my advice to everybody is that we need to surround ourselves with people that raises our standards. And I've said this to my team over and over, because we can't be surrounded ourselves with people who are negative. Sorry about that. A little ticklish. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry. Surround ourselves with people that raises our standard, that challenges us to become the best version of ourselves, right? Because if we don't, well, you know where we're going. We're not going to be grooming ourselves passionately to the direction we want to go. And always remember, as my last thought, our life is a gift from God. What we become is our gift back to Him. So thank you.
Wow. Kai, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in Anaheim and give you a big ol' hug. Thank you so much for pouring into us today. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful last 2 days of the month. Everything that you've been working for all month can happen. You just got to keep digging and digging for that gold, like she said. So I know we've been blessed. I know you guys have been. We'll get this recording out. Yes, we've gotten so many chats over here. Thank you so much, Kai, again. And,
thank you.
Yes, thank you,
very
Kai.
much, you guys. It's been a pleasure. I love you all.
Thank you. You are beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye,
Shannon.
everybody.
Bye-bye.